What up, world? Welcome to another episode.
Uh-oh.
Man, oh my Jesus, man. All right. What up, world? Welcome to another episode of RMT. That's Real Man Talks. It's your boy, Stan the Man. I got my boy EIG in the building.
Yo, what up? What up? What up?
Yeah, and on the day we want to bring y'all into the conversation piece today. Y'all join in. We like family now. Y'all have been rocking with us with all these episodes. We like family, so we like sitting around having this conversation as family today, right? And we want to bring y'all into it. And so before we even get started, you know what we do? This that section that we get as shout outs. We got to get those shout outs, man. So first off, I want to give a shout out to y'all. We got 5,000 views on YouTube, man. We appreciate y'all for checking
Woo.
us out, listening to us, man. We got 5,000 views, and we couldn't have did it without you guys tuning in, you ladies tuning in, coming, and just giving us a feedback on the things that y'all like. So appreciate y'all. So shout out to the family members out there. Shout out to y'all for going to the YouTube page and checking us out. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you a lot. You
Yes,
know,
sir.
I'm just start off like that. EI, before we get into this, man, you got any shout outs?
Hey, man, shout out first off to the listeners and the viewers. I couldn't have said it no better than Stan did. Shout out to y'all, man. Hey, appreciate it. It is greatly, greatly, greatly appreciated.
Oh, yeah.
But next on the list today, man, I did Texas last time we was on here. I did
All right.
family that was in Texas.
All
So
right.
shout out to the big state of Texas.
All
But
right.
today, I'm going
Let's
to
get
the state of Indiana.
it.
Look, Hoosier State. You know what I mean? Yeah,
I sound big.
I got family everywhere, man. Hey, look,
Everywhere. That's
shout
what's
out
up.
to the fam in Indiana, everybody over there, every last one of y'all. I love y'all.
Absolutely.
Shout out to the Hoosier State. You know what I'm saying? That's
Mm-hmm.
over there, South Bend, Notre Dame. Hey, so just shout out to Indiana and the fam over there tonight, man. That's all I got.
Already. So, without further notice, let's get into it. On today, we're gonna talk about the challenges of co-parenting.
Mm,
A lot of people say, "How can y'all talk about the challenges of co-parenting when you talking about people that's divorced or they had a kid out of a child out of wedlock, and people that's not together?" But we could talk about that as well. But we also want to come from a perspective of different backgrounds coming together and raising a child together you
right.
know, because once you get married or you get into a situation with and y'all start to produce children, everybody's not raised the same.
Right.
Everybody not raised the same. Even if you was raised the same, just say if both of y'all if both of y'all was raised to be a Christian, if both of y'all was raised to be a Muslim, both of y'all was raised to be in different beliefs, or y'all was raised in the same belief, y'all wasn't raised in the same household. So the same way that your parents did things, her parents might did something different. So those are a couple of things that we want to touch on today. And before I even get any deep, I'm gonna go ahead and bring EI here and throw him that assist and let him go on drive to the hole, man, make the bucket.
Hey, man, this topic here is a good one. It's a juicy one, another universal one, man. And when you think about it, like you said, hey, there's challenges to co-parenting. Even if you're married, even if y'all even grew up in the same town, maybe you were in different households, or just being two different people all together. Sometimes you may see one doing something discipline wise and not agree. Like, hey,
Exactly.
you're taking it too far. Or
Yep.
I don't think that they should get there. I don't, and there can be disagreements.
Mm,
And that's a challenge because, if y'all a unit together, you really want to the goal is to raise the child together and not confuse the child. But
mhm.
this happens so much, man, and it's because primarily what I believe, and this is my point right here, Stan, is
Go
that
ahead.
we're not careful of what we let the children see.
Mm,
You know what I mean? And we
right.
think
Right.
we think we can have little like arguments and it ain't really nothing, and we know they may be playing a game, but these kids, Stan, they be listening, Dak.
Oh
They
yeah.
be watching our every moves.
They
And I
do
feel like
very.
those disagreements, that we have in co-parenting. Like, hey, maybe you felt that your daughter should be dating at this age. Maybe dad feel like my daughter should be dating never.
Mhm.
You
Yep.
know, but where do we find that compromise? Where do we find that middle ground while we show our daughter or our son that hey, we're in this together? And in
Exactly.
households, we see a lot of divide because hey, my child knows, well, dad is going to discipline me this way, and
Hmm.
mom's going to discipline me this way. You know how
Hmm.
sometimes they play us against each other. You
Absolutely.
know,
Yep.
go
Yep.
go to one that acts because they smart and they soaking it up. So first
Hmm.
off, I think the first steps that we all should do, everybody, nobody's perfect, is be more conscious of the conversations we're having in front of them. And
Hmm.
definitely we don't, if things get too hot, things get too heated where there's yelling, man, if y'all got to step outside, if y'all need to take a drive, or whatever the case, just it's good to not let the kids see it,
Yep.
you know, because they confuse, man. And then they reenacting exactly what they see in their home. So
Yep.
you know, where can we? How? I guess the bigger question, Stan, is how do we get there? Because if I'm
Right.
dead set one way and wifey is set dead one way, then what do
Hmm.
we do? And how do
Yep.
we make this work? So I don't want to keep going on, going on. I want to bring you on
I
in
know,
on
no,
this.
you good, man. I'm gonna
Yeah.
catch that question on, how do you make that work when two different people have two different opinions on how they want to handle a situation. And
Right.
so with me, I would say you need to find a common ground that's best for the child. My way is not right, your way is not right. What'll be right for the child? Because that's the one that's going to benefit from anything that we do. So just because I was raised a certain way and it worked with me, you was raised a certain way, it worked with you, that might not necessarily work for our child.
Right.
And so one thing I had to learn raising my own children is that they not me, they not my wife, they not my sister, they not my brother, they not my cousin, auntie, grandma, they not any of my relatives.
Right.
So with this new person that coming along, I gotta be able to cater, not cater to them, but cater. No, I ain't gonna say cater. I'm gonna have to customize my way of disciplining them, my way of training them to show them so I can get the best out of them as an individual. Because I think we try to put how we was raised, how we was taught, and things that we did, we try to instill that into our child.
Mm-hmm.
But the information that we have to customize it for each one of our children because all of them are different even though they're in the same household. And me and my wife, your spouse, girlfriend, y'all need to get together and be like, you know what? This is not the best thing for little Johnny for you to do him like this.
Mm-hmm.
You can't put that belt on little Johnny like that.
Right.
You put that belt on little Johnny, little Johnny just shut down.
Mm-hmm.
Little Johnny don't want to talk. He ain't functioning. He just want to
Mm-hmm.
shut down after that belt. You
Man,
know,
that's good, bro.
and making those adjustments to find out what work with each one of your children is one of the best things that you can do. Is you and whoever you with coming together raising that child to make sure y'all on the same page for discipline, education, or however that you want to raise this child coming together. Because once the child find one little break in the chain,
Mm-hmm.
one little misinformation, one miscue between y'all, they gonna use that in order to slide in there to get their way. So
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. They
you,
come.
you see what I'm saying? So that's just me. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, man, I want to ask you this, and just working together, do you think just say that I think my way is the best way,
Okay.
and said my wife said I think my way is the best way. How do you think that you can come to a compromise to meet in the middle that each individuals can get their needs met and what they're trying to do in order to raise his child.
Well, first off, I know it's kind of late to say it, but first things first, that what we need to do more of is when we get in these relationships with people, and even before you get in a relationship, even once you're pregnant, ladies, y'all need
Mm-hmm.
to start discussing, hey, this is how I see parenting. You
Oh
know what I mean?
man,
And the
oh
dad
man.
can say, hey, well, this is how I feel. And y'all got 9 months to really work out a
Oh,
whole bunch of, you
oh,
know,
oh, hold on, yeah. I'm sorry, man.
go
No,
ahead, Doc.
before any hunting go on, they need to have that discussion before
Hey,
then.
hey,
Before anything, any relation, any
man,
sexual healing happen. My
man.
bad, man, but that's good. That's good. Go ahead, man. My bad. My bad for cutting you out. Go ahead,
No,
man.
no, but for real, man, that needs to be said. That needs to be out the gate. And if not out the gate, then hey, at least by the time y'all know a baby's coming, let's make preparations for family. That's first. But
Mm-hmm.
now that you say, well, we here now, we here now. Yeah, how we gonna fix this? And I think that those separate talks that y'all do need to have is just, hey, where we both can let it all out.
Yeah.
So that means men let the women or whomever your partner is, let
Mm-hmm.
them express themselves and let them, I'm talking about to the fullest. And not where you just waiting on them to finish so you can be like, okay, my turn. But
Mm-hmm.
hear them out. And
Mm-hmm.
then you give your opportunity to get everything out. And y'all both have to find a middle ground. So the question
Yeah.
we have to ask ourselves is, okay, what am I willing to sacrifice? Because I need to
Mm,
show that woman that, hey, yeah, I was raised this way. I already explained what my expectations are, but I know we're not meeting.
right.
So let's say I sacrifice this. If I felt my daughter should start dating at 15 or 16 or whatever, I'm just throwing numbers out there.
Right.
But she felt like, well, hey, no, it should be another age way down the line, finding
Exactly.
a middle ground.
Right.
Maybe one of y'all, but maybe one of y'all agree on, uh, old corporal punishment, or getting that whip out, getting that belt, switches, things like that. And y'all
Mm-hmm.
know how some of us grew up.
Mm-hmm.
Stan,
Oh man.
hey,
Hey, listen. Listen, man. Hey,
hey,
I go down there for a second, man, because my pops got that leather.
man,
I got that leather put on me. The corporal punishment, and I ain't gonna say it was all the time,
right.
but I think from like I said, from the parents, the way they was raised, the way my parents was raised, that's something they agreed upon. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So since they agreed upon, okay, this is the best way to do this, that's the way that they done things. Now, am
Hmm.
I saying um that I got a spanking for everything that I did? No, I did. I
Right.
got multiple chances. If it was something like that was gonna hurt me, something like that could bodily harm or take my life, oh yeah, that's automatic.
Right.
But if it was some things like I did this, I did that, it'll build up before they get to that point. Now, do I think that corporal punishment work? Absolutely. But it just depends on the child. Because I think I came out fine. But go ahead, yeah. Go
No,
ahead.
I was just saying that was key, and that point you made earlier when you said depends
Mhm.
on the child, right?
Right.
Like you could have a child that uh, that if you did do that kind of punishment to, that
Mhm.
it may stunt them in other areas. You know what I mean? Because they're not built the same, they're not wired, they're a
Yeah.
different child. So why
Mhm.
would I could send my child into wanting to be maybe abusive person himself, or somebody who is a recluse and then one day want to go shoot up a school. So
Yep.
you really had to be paying attention and in their lives. I feel like, man,
Mm.
to know them,
Yeah.
conversations with them, not just I mean, just in their lives talking. And you may say, yeah, they don't share everything with you. They're not. Kid,
Mhm.
we didn't do it. You're not gonna get the
Exactly.
whole thing,
Yep.
but you can show that you care and you can be in their lives. And this helps with that discipline. But I know I got off track there, man. But
Oh, no. That's on track.
you know,
Yeah.
to to round it back, with us finding ways to just do that. Us finding ways
Mhm.
to agree. Man, I don't know. There are different ways. Some people, if you're someone who's religious and grew up in the church, hey, y'all need to pray together.
Yep.
Y'all need to take some time to pray together, and
Yep.
pray separately on it. If you're somebody who's not, seek therapy. Maybe you
Mhm.
need to look at doing any, I don't know, yoga, whatever. There's, what I'm saying is, both parents have to want the same goal, and that's just that we
Yep.
can together make this work. Whether we're different, whether we this, that, and the other, we have to be on the same team and not show the child that I really don't like your dad. I
Yep.
really don't like your mom.
Yep.
Your mom said this, but I'm gonna let you do this. And
Yep.
it's just a lot, man. So man, you gonna get some of this, man.
Yep.
I'm
Another thing is like I'm gonna piggyback on the last thing you just said about like saying negative stuff about the other parent.
yeah.
And saying negative stuff about the other parent, like it can play into that child's life because you can end up being manipulative and saying different stuff to your child. Be like, yeah, well, your mama this, but she could do this then and this. And that child gonna be looking at if daddy loved mom the way that he said he loved mom, if they
Mm,
together like this, how could you say, hey, how can you say it talk about mama like this, and then they gonna feel like it's okay to say those things about mom. They're gonna feel
right.
like it's okay to say those things about dad, and they're gonna feel like it's okay for me to feel that way about my mom or about my dad with not having all the information because it's getting one-sided. And so I
Hmm.
think that's something that also we got to watch how we talk about the co-parent. You have
Oh
to
yeah.
watch the things that you say about them and the things that you do around them, because you might say and you might be mad and be like, you know what? I don't even like your mama like that.
Hmm.
Because you
Right.
might just be upset.
Right.
Gee, man, she always acting crazy and this and that, man. I can't stand her.
Hmm.
It might not be nothing intentional, but you might be upset at that time and say something that the child took serious, but you just mad at the time,
Ooh.
and it might boil over to something different. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. I mean that w- us using the kids as weapons all the time, man. It happens
Mm,
all the time. We use the kids as pawns in this game of chess because we mad at the other. You know what I mean? So when
mm,
we mad at the other, we want to sometimes let things slip out that looks like it's in a bad light. You know what I mean?
yep,
We
yep,
know that saying whatever it is, even you say, well, it wasn't that bad. I just said this. It's the truth. Blah blah blah. And same for men, but that is putting a negative image on that child.
yep.
And I feel like you should want to protect that. Whatever it is, whatever beef that me and your mom have,
Mm-hmm.
it should have nothing to do when I'm talking to you even about her, because I want you to feel the same way for your mother that I do about my own mom. I
Yep,
wouldn't want anybody disrespecting or talking bad or just trying to. So protect the kids right now. They got enough to deal with. They got
yep,
ABCs, algebra,
yeah,
puberty, all this other stuff to go through. They don't
yep.
need all that extra stuff that's really just games we playing with each other. You know,
Exactly.
so
Exactly. I think you said that, man. That was perfect the way that you said it. Is that you using the kid as a pawn? And I think you know I ain't gonna say from my experience, but from guys I'm to talk to, like a lot of times the women will take the child. Well, you can't see a child unless you
mm,
spend this amount of money. You can't
mm,
see a child because I want the relationship. You didn't want the relationship, and I'm not gonna let you see the child unless you with me.
mm,
And it'd be so many times that like it'd be bad things that happen. It even get down to some people just go and take the children life because they don't
mm,
want you to be. They don't want them to be around the parent, or this guy that moved on. He happy. The lady that moved on. She
mm.
happy. Oh
Yeah.
man, they living a good life now without me. without me. So when I get the kids, I'm gonna run away with the kids. I ain't gonna let them have just to make them miserable, you
Oh,
know. And I think a lot of people, if we could take as a society and be more selective and like the process of when we talking to people or when we finna have sex with people, because a lot of times we just be going off, we're attracted to them, we
mhm.
horny. Hey, let's do it.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm trying to knock your back in, you know. I'm trying to get behind that, you know. I'm trying to get some good, you know, fornication going on. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
Right now, you know. And so since we thinking like that, a lot of times we might put ourselves in a situation that we might have a child out of wedlock, or we might have a child with somebody that we weren't intending to have a child by, because things happen. You know, we all made mistakes, and you can't say, "Oh man," you know, everybody can't say, "Oh well, I always use a condom. I always chose the right person, or every person I slept with, I want to have a child with." Will be
mhm.
lying. I know I'll be lying. You know,
Yeah.
I ain't perfect. You see what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
But I think in the choices that we make, we need to be a little bit more selective in that area. And I say from my experience, you know, I thank God that, you know, I didn't have any children now, but it could have happened to me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It could have happened to me. And a lot of people weren't as fortunate and as blessed. And, you know, I had God's mercy with me, you know, that it did happen to me, you know, but it could
Right.
have. And I'd be on here singing another tune. You see what I'm saying?
You already know. And hey, that a whole nother song, bro. And so
Exactly.
I think also, bro, just to kind of jump on the end of that,
Hmm.
we talk about when people are there looking at the relationship, and you may
Hmm.
see that that person's moved on. It's hard for men to sit back, and really look at, maybe I'm not with their mother anymore, but now she's got a man in the picture. And we
Hmm.
automatically take this defensive position and this we ready for war position, you know what I mean? And we
Hmm.
really just need to, as men,
Yep.
be real men, and just, hey, if you know if your child's in danger, you know if you need to go handle business, if furniture need to get moving, we know when that is. But
Right.
don't be looking for this. Don't be the hearsay, mama said, all that stuff, man. And we really look, and what we looking at the guy, like what she see in him, or it's so much mess that can come into trying to co-parent, man, off
Right.
of little small petty things like
Hmm.
jealousy. You know what I mean? And
Eating the
even,
Girl Scout cookies.
oh man.
Man.
So we, as men, and women too, but just
Mhm.
me myself as a man, and knowing, hey, look, we don't have to be ready for war if that ex is with another man.
Mm.
Let's be what she needs so that our child is good. You know what I mean? So that there's
Mhm.
love on that child, and that relationship between me and my child can still be good. I don't have to burn that bridge because I don't like the guy she with now, or
Mhm.
I'm jealous of him, or whatever the case. So to be okay
Yeah.
ourselves, man, to be okay and be, you know, men, real men about this, and stop being petty in relationships. And
Right.
ladies, the same too. They don't have to come and storm and tear somebody's house up because she's with another woman now. Oh, that's my child. I need to. Well, hey, yes, I do know. You need to know where your child is, and it's good to
Yeah.
know who your child is around. I'm not saying that, but I am saying we don't have to blow up the spot over petty things, man.
Oh yeah, man. And one thing I was gonna say, man, was that even, you know, I'll say this: if you having children or you want to have children, I think one of the things, you can't be selfish.
Right.
If you're a selfish person, I personally don't think you should have any children, because if you selfish and you have a child, it's gonna be hard for you to put the child's need before you. So even if that
Mhm.
conflict you do have with that man, or you had that conflict with that woman, that's your conflict. That's not the child conflict.
Right.
And so you able to put your conflict to the side for the betterment of the child. That's gonna be a selfless act
Yeah.
for you to do that. And
Mhm.
so a lot of times when we have children, you have to make a sacrifice with your money, with your life, with
Mhm.
your time. You making a huge sacrifice in order to make sure that your child is raised well, um, eating good.
Yep.
You're gonna have to work more hours, and then you're gonna have to really study to make sure you're able to teach and put into that child what it is to be a good citizen, be a good person, be a good man or woman of God, if that's how you're gonna raise them. But however you're gonna raise your child, it's still gonna take time, and you being not being selfish in order to maximize what you want to get out of your children, you know.
Absolutely.
And so, man, right now, man, I just want to go ahead and, take the top off, man, and put the signal light on, get off this interstate, man, make this left over here to Eat Eyes Corner.
Hey man. Hey man. Thank y'all for making a pit stop to holler at your boy real quick.
Yes,
We're here on
sir.
the corner where we just talk a little bit about nothing. Keep it lightweight. So, as always, we got to salute the black and yellow. Shout out to Steeler Nation again. We went 9-8 this year, and you should keep your head up no matter what Stan and nobody else say. Now that we got that out the way, now that that's settled, let's just hey man, I was disappointed in some games I saw, man. And I'm sure that by the time the people see this, you may be behind, so you all get to actually see real time, predictions here, man. But the Super Bowl is coming up. We got Kansas City and we got the Eagles.
Yeah.
Who you got, Stan?
Eagles.
Gonna beat Kansas City.
Eagles off top, man. Off top.
I'm gonna pick Kansas. I'm gonna pick Kansas City.
All right. Because this. Let's see. What's the day? Yeah, because this coming out on the 9th.
Okay.
Yeah. So this coming out on the 9th.
Okay.
February the 9th. So yeah. So yeah.
Eagles. I got the Chiefs. I was real disappointed, man, in how that Philly and San Fran game turned out. I didn't get to watch it all, but man, I saw the score. Like, wow.
Why was you disappointed? But I was kind of expecting that. And the reason I said I'm gonna say the reason why I expect it because what's his name? Brody or Birdie? How they pronounce his name?
Purdy, the quarterback.
Yeah, Purdy.
Yeah, Purdy.
Yeah, Purdy. So Purdy is a rookie quarterback, no playoff experience,
right?
And he really haven't played a team of that caliber like playing against the Eagles.
Okay.
With the defense and the offense. So when Purdy came into the game with no playoff experience as a rookie, that's a big ask for him to go in there and win a playoff game like that. Like all season, the regular season is different from a playoff atmosphere because you think about these guys in the playoff, and I might be wrong, but I think you get extra check for making it in the playoffs.
And they do get
these guys, these grown men out there want another check. They got child support on their head. They got the bill to call them. They got mortgage. They got they got all those things. And you think I'm finna let this little rookie come out here and stop me from getting my check to the Super Bowl? You must be crazy.
Hey, you make a good argument, man. But I will say, I feel like if Purdy wouldn't have got hurt, that score wouldn't have been what it was. I'm just saying 31-7 was just like, golly.
Yeah.
And
you just want to see a good game. You know what I'm saying?
That's all,
Yeah.
So I do agree with your analysis of that. But I'm gonna come out on the other side and tell you that the Chiefs gonna win.
Okay.
Now.
Okay.
Before I get out of here and let y'all go, man, I want to give a shout out and send my condolences to the family of the young man that lost his life in Memphis.
Oh yeah.
Tyree Nichols or Tyre
Yeah,
Nick. I think it's
yeah.
Tyree Nichols.
Yep. Yep.
Condolences to the family.
Condolences to y'all.
You know, and just
Much love to y'all.
man,
Prayers and everything.
I could only imagine, but we stand here with prayers and condolences for that family, man, and just this goes to show us that a lot of issues are beyond what we think they are. We think that the country is about to go this way, that way because of racism.
Yeah.
And now we see, okay, well, this is 5 black men.
Mm-hmm.
And what's wrong is beyond any color. I know how the system is. I know what we've been at. But I want to say to everybody,
man,
this is a thing about people's souls and about good out there. And that's what we're about here. So I don't want to get into debate about all that other stuff. That's I understand it, but prayer and condolences to the family.
Oh yeah.
From RMT. And let's just, as much as we can, bring love and light. Y'all, let's do that here every day that we can. And I'm out back to Stan, man.
Oh yeah, man. I ain't got nothing else to say. Like I said, family, if y'all want to ever join us and have a conversation with us, hit us up on our platforms. We on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Apple Podcasts. We on Anchor, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Real Men Talk Podcast. Key that in, enjoy, like, comment, subscribe. Y'all know what to do. Just do what y'all already been doing. That's just when you come to our YouTube or you come to our platform, that's like coming to the barbecue and just getting a plate and taking that plate with you, because we always got plenty to eat around here. You dig?
Man, hey, we keep the to-go plates on deck. You can grab it and you can go.
Yes, sir. So, man, with that being said, man, we'll see y'all next week.
Peace.
Yeah, man. Ooh. Hey, man.